Hello, children. How are you? Hope all of you are fine. I know all of you like stories. So, today in this class, let's listen to a story. The name of the story is Chandni. Shall we begin? Chandni. Once upon a time, there lived an old man in Almora. He was popularly known as Apu Khan. He lived all alone except for a few goats which he always kept as pets. He gave his goats funny names such as Kaluva, Munkia or Gujri. He would take them out for grazing during the day and talk to them as one talks to one's own children. At night, he would bring them back to his little hut and put a string round the neck of each goat. See, this paragraph says that once there lived an old man in Almora. His name was Apu Khan. He lived all alone except a few goats. He kept a few goats as pets. He would give them funny names such as Kaluva, Munkia or Gujri. He would take them out for grazing and talk to them as his own children. At night, he would bring them back to his little hut and put a string round the neck of each goat. See the next paragraph. Poor Apu Khan was a little unlucky in the matter of his goats. Very often at night, one of the goats would pull and pull at the string till it broke loose and then would disappear in the hills beyond. Goats in hilly regions hate being tied to trees or poles. They love their freedom. Apu Khan's goats were of the best hill breed. They too loved their freedom. So, whenever they got the chance, they would run away only to get killed by an old wolf who lived in the hills. See, Apu Khan was, however, a little unlucky because very often at night one of the goats would break the string and group the hills. It was so because the goats loved freedom. His goats were of the best hill breed. Goats in the hill region hate being tied to trees or poles. So, whenever they got the chance, they would run away only to get killed by an old wolf who lived in the hills. But this freedom cost them their lives. They were eaten by an old wolf who lived in the hills. Poor things. See the next paragraph. Whenever one of his goats disappeared, Apu Khan was very sad. He didn't understand why even the juiciest grass and grains that he gave them and all the love that he showered on them wouldn't stop these unfortunate goats from running straight into the jaws of death. Are these goats mad? He wondered. Or was it their love for freedom? But freedom meant struggle, hardship, even death. Apu Khan couldn't solve the mystery. One day, one of his goats disappeared. He became very sad. He didn't understand why they were not interested in the juiciest grass and grains, and also the love he showered on them. He wondered whether they were mad. Freedom meant struggle, hardship, even death. He couldn't solve the mystery. Let's move on to the next paragraph. One day, when all his gods had left him, Apu Khan said to himself, "No more gods in my house ever again. I may yet live for a few more years, but I'll live without gods." However, the poor old man was terribly lonely. He simply couldn't do without his pets. Very soon, he bought a young goat. He thought, "A young goat will stay with me much longer. She will soon begin to love me as well as the food I give her every day. She will never want to go to the hills." And he laughed with joy. The new goat was very pretty. She was white as snow and had two little horns on her little head and a pair of gleaming red eyes. She had a friendly temperament and would listen to Apu Khan's tales with a lot of interest and affection. Apu Khan called her Chandni, which means moonlight. He loved Chandni and would narrate to her stories of all his friends who were dead and gone. Several years passed. Chandni was still there. Abu Khan believed that Chandni would never leave his compound for the free and fresh air of the hills beyond. Alas, he was mistaken. So, my dear children, one day when all his gods had gone, he decided to have no more gods as pets. However, he changed his mind soon after. Why? It was so because without the gods, he became very lonely. Now, he bought a very young god. He thought it would stay with him much longer. He decided to love that god so much that it would never go away. So he bought a pretty young god. He named it Chandni. She lived with Abu Khan for several years. She would listen to his tales with a lot of interest and affection. He loved her very, very much and would narrate to her stories of all his friends who were dead and gone. Abu Khan believed that she would never leave him. Alas, he was mistaken. See the next paragraphs. Every morning, Chandni watched the hilltops, bathed in the sunlight. How beautiful those hills are, she thought. How refreshing the breeze that blows through them. And how lovely to run across those green fields. She ran towards the hills but had to stop with a jerk. The rope round her neck wouldn't let her go any further. How she hated that rope. She stopped eating the green grass Abu Khan brought for her, nor did she listen to his stories with interest and affection. She lost her appetite, grew very thin, and stared moodily at the hilltops bathed in sunlight. Abu Khan didn't understand Chandni's anguish. At last, she decided to speak to him frankly. Dear Abu Khan, she said, let me go to the hills, please. If I stay on in your compound, I'll die. Now Abu Khan understood Chandni's problem, but it made him very unhappy. The earthen pot which contained Chandni's breakfast fell from his hands and broke into 1,000 pieces. Why do you want to leave me, Chandni? Abu Khan asked. I want to go to the hills, Chandni answered. Don't you like the food here? I'll give you tastier food and a much longer rope. No, thank you. Let me go to the hills. Do you realize the risk you are running, you obstinate creature? There is a dangerous wolf in the hills. He will eat you up. Abu Khan did his best to warn her. Chandni answered, God has given me a pair of horns. I'll fight the wolf. Fight the wolf indeed. Have you forgotten the story of your sister Kaluva, who was the size of a big deer? She fought the wolf through the night, but was killed in the morning. Abu Khan narrated Kaluva's story for the 50th time. To all this, Chandni had only one thing to say. I want to go to the hills. Abu Khan got very annoyed. He thundered, You are not going anywhere. From today, you will live in a small hut and not move about freely in the compound. Ungrateful as you are, you must still be saved from the wolf. He pushed her into a small hut and shut the door, but he forgot to close the small window at the back. The same night, Chandni made that window her passage to freedom. When Chandni grew up, it also felt the urge of going up the hills. She ran towards them, but the rope would stop her. So she began to hate the rope round her neck. Soon she stopped eating the grass. She also stopped listening to Abu Khan's stories with interest. She became very thin and unhappy. Abu Khan didn't understand her problem. At last, Chandni decided to speak to him frankly. She asked him to let her go to the hills. Now Abu Khan understood Chandni's problem. He told Chandni of the danger of death if she went up. Chandni said that she would fight the wolf with her horns. Abu Khan told her that it was impossible. He told her about her sister Kaluva, who was the size of a tear. Yet she was eaten by the wolf. Chandni still wanted to go to the hills. Abu Khan was very annoyed. He loved Chandni and wanted to save her life. So he shut her in a small hut. But unfortunately, he forgot to close the window. That very night, Chandni escaped through the window to the hills. Children, your curiosity arised. I know. See the next paragraphs. Chandni reached the hills. It seemed to her that the old hills were standing in a row to welcome her. She felt like a child meeting her parents after years of separation. Wherever she went, the tall grass rose to embrace her, the flowers bloomed to amuse her, and the wind sang an endless song of welcome. How different all this was from her past in the prison house of Abu Khan's compound. It was the happiest day in Chandni's life. That day she played for hours on the grassy slopes of the hills. She met a herd of wild goats who asked her to join their group. But Chandni politely refused. She wanted to enjoy her new freedom all by herself. Here, our Chandni reached the hills. She enjoyed her freedom. Chandni felt that it was the happiest day of her life. She played for hours on the grassy hills. Then she met a herd of wild goats. They asked her to join their group, but Chandni refused. She wanted to enjoy her new freedom by herself. Then what happened to Chandni? The sun disappeared behind the hills, and soon darkness enveloped the grass, the flowers, and the trees. The wind stopped blowing, and there was stillness all around, except for a strange sound which was coming from the bushes. The sound was like a grunt. What was it? It wasn't Abu Khan's voice calling her back to the compound, nor was it the voice of another god. Then Chandni thought of the dangerous wolf who lived in the hills. She felt scared. Should she go back to the safety of Abu Khan's hut? No, she said to herself. Death in an open field is far better than life in a small hut. The wolf had come out of the bushes and was staring greedily at Chandni. His eyes were shining like burning coals in the darkness. He seemed in no hurry. He knew the new goat was his. The wolf and the goat sized up each other. The wolf was big and ferocious, whereas the goat, though healthy, was small. But small is not weak. Chandni stood firm on her legs, head slightly bent, and horns jutting out. She was a picture of courage. She looked like a brave soldier ready to fight a treacherous enemy. I must put up a good fight, Chandni thought. Success or failure is a matter of luck or chance. The fight began. It went on through the night. The moon, which had been watching the fight, began to grow pale and suddenly hid behind the clouds. The stars also began to disappear one by one. A faint light appeared in the east, and the morning call for prayer came from a distant mosque. The first rays of the sun saw Chandni lying on the ground. She was completely soaked in blood. The wolf, tired and sleepy, was getting ready to devour her. An assembly of birds, perched on top of a tree nearby, was debating the result of the fight. Who is the winner? One of them asked. The wolf, of course, most of them said. A wise old bird declaimed with confidence, Chandni is the winner. Dear children, then there was night. There was stillness all around. In that silence, Chandni heard the voice of a wolf. She was frightened. For once, she thought of going back to Abu Khan. Then she decided against it, that in an open field is far better than life in a small hut. The wolf now stood face to face with Chandni. Chandni saw that she was very small compared to the wolf. Yet she didn't lose her heart. I must put up a good fight, Chandni thought. She fought because she had to retain her freedom at all costs. Success or failure was a matter of luck or chance. Chandni fought very bravely. They fought all night, but the first ray of the sun saw Chandni dead. She was lying on the ground in a pool of blood. The wolf was getting ready to eat her. The wolf won the battle. He is the winner. He is ready to eat Chandni. Chandni is dead. A group of birds had watched the fight. Most of them thought that the wolf had won. However, a wise old bird declared that Chandni was the winner. What do you think? Who is the winner? Chandni or wolf? Okay, let's move on to the questions. What is the first question? Why did Chandni refuse to join the group of wild gods? The answer is Chandni refused to join the group of wild gods because she wanted to enjoy her freedom. Next one, Chandni fought the wolf because she had to retain her freedom at all costs. Then, what is the next question? Why did the wise old bird say Chandni is the winner? Because the wise old bird said Chandni is the winner because she faced her fear like a warrior. She didn't stay chained just to be alive. Instead, she fought for her freedom. She didn't lose her freedom. Then, next one. Death in an open field is better than life in a small hut. Chandni said to herself, was it the right decision? Give reason for your answer. Was it the right decision? Although it was a tough and brave decision, what do you think? I think that one's own life shouldn't be the cost one pays for one's own freedom. Chandni could have listened to Abu Khan and stayed with him happily. I think so. What do you think? Next one, freedom is life. Discuss this with reference to Chandni. So, my dear children, this is the story. I hope all of you enjoyed the story and let's see in the next class. Thank you.